Hey there, Gemini. Welcome to your reading for the week of. No, this is for your bonus reading for August 2025. You have this card. It says a win-win outcome is forecast. You also have this card that says you and your loved ones are safe. So that looks pretty good, Gemini. The win-win, the whole win-win thing. I feel that Gemini could be kind of entering into a time of win-wins. You also have Jupiter that has moved into your second house. And, having Jupiter in the second there is good for creating win-win solutions. Not to mention that we are also in a time where we need to be creating win-win solutions as well. We have Pluto and Aquarius. Pluto and Aquarius is kind of like anything that, anything that benefits the collective, right? So that when you think about that, that's kind of like a win-win. This card also fell out when I pulled out this Queen of Swords, so we'll take both. So again, I would be trying to create as many win-wins as you can. Seems to be an amazing time for family, by the way. So a lot of people have been getting these cards of like you and your loved ones are safe and stuff like that. You start here for how you are entering into the reading. The first card in the Celtic Cross is how you enter into the reading, basically, or your current general energies for the month. And you have the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands can represent being busy, carrying a burden. I feel kind of good about this here, Gemini. I'm not too concerned about it. Just in general, I feel a lot of you. It's like, yeah, sure. You could be feeling busy. It's like you have a lot going on, but at the same time, I feel that you're very close to a result. You have this home in the background here. You have that card that says win-win outcome is forecast, but it's almost like saying to me that win-win outcome is forecast card is almost saying to me it's all been worth it. And those are like the words I'm getting on the Ten of Wands. Is some of you could finally be seeing how a bunch of work has been worth it. It's like you will in the future, not right now. But I feel like as we go through this month, basically, so, this might not be happening, instantly, but I am getting the words that, like, you're about to see that it's all been worth it. So, if you've been putting a lot of work into a project or, even just putting work into yourself, right? Or, putting work into things that you want to create, I think that you could finally be getting results. I'm getting a lot off of this card here, Gemini, right away. So I also feel clarity. Sometimes I feel, I don't normally care about this on this card, but, those wands are all in front of his face. So, it kind of represents the fact that he can't see the forest through the trees. He cannot see through those, he cannot see what's in front of him because he's carrying too many burdens. So his vision is clouded. But for you, I feel like you are getting clarity. So it's like, if you have been dealing with too much, and if this has been causing problems and preventing you from having clarity in life, which usually it does, then, I think this Ten of Wands is definitely a good thing for you here, Gemini. Next, for your crossing energy, the crossing energy can be what hurts you or helps you in a Celtic cross, and the Eight of Swords says that you need to set yourself free and you need to open up to all solutions. Now, again, I don't really feel this is a problem for Gemini. Gemini is usually very good at seeing all the solutions, all the different options that exist, but, we're not all perfect. So I think that there could be some moments in your life, or there could be some things that where you haven't been flexible, and I don't really feel good or bad about this Eight of Swords. I kind of feel it's more saying that you're just being more flexible in finding solutions, or like the solutions that you accept as a solution to a problem. And, again, I think this could be leading to more success for you. Obviously, if you become more flexible, then, things can be better, right? So again, I think this is a good thing. Next, in the area of what's on your mind, you have the Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands basically says you've made up your mind. Seven of Wands is a card of conviction. It says when you know that something is for you, that's when it's truly for you. It's a card of kind of conviction, deep held belief, and accepting, it's like, it basically says when you know that there is no other way than for you to be successful, that's when you'll truly be successful. So I feel like you're all different. Like I said, some of you, I feel this is good. I feel that some of you already kind of have your mind made up about something that that you want to accomplish. Feels like an accomplishment or achievement. We have the Queen of Swords, Emperor, Nine of Pentacles, a lot of this energy of like bossing up so far, and we haven't even clarified yet. So we'll see. Obviously, we'll see what happens when we clarify. But I think this is something you're working on personally. Just my personal feelings about the reading, I would say. For others, I feel that if you're not feeling this, then you need to work on developing that type of energy, right? This is something that we can nurture inside of ourselves. We can nurture the energy of being driven, bold, assertive, all those other things. And, I definitely would with this card. Next, in your foundation, you have the Three of Swords. Again, I don't feel good or bad. I feel very neutral about your reading, Gemini, if that isn't obvious. But the Three of Swords, I feel, is saying that it would be a great time to heal. Now, it is a great time to heal because we have the South Node in Virgo. Also, we still have, we're getting to the end of Chiron and Aries. Chiron and Aries is a major pain in the ass, but personally, I think I have not had a good time as far as like that stuff is concerned with Chiron and Aries. It hasn't been horrible, and of course, I'm not hating on the astrology. We learn from these things, but I don't know. It's probably been my least favorite place for it to be so far, and so again, we've been dealing with that energy, right? So we are just in a time where the universe is like, yep, you have to focus on healing. You have to focus on, doing the right things for your body, for yourself, for your mindset, for your mental health, all those things. Three of Swords is really about forgiveness. So all we have to do is remove those swords from our heart and we will be set free. But, we have to make sure that we remove those swords from our heart. But it could also be saying that we are in a great time of forgiveness, which I do believe we are. We have the North Node in Pisces. We have the South Node in Virgo. North Node in Pisces is very karmic. There's something very karmic about it. I feel it energetically. So I think doing things like forgiving the past, letting go of the past, creating positive karma in the world is what we need to be doing, right? And I think this is a great thing to do. It's kind of like, I made it a point many years ago to decide that, no matter what anyone does to me, I just tell the universe, like, I want to end this right now, meaning in this lifetime. So, universe, I don't wish anything towards this person. I don't want anything to happen to them. Only good, positive vibes. I want to end the karma now, right? I've been making it a point to do that in this lifetime. And so I think it's a good activity, right? Just saying, like, I don't want revenge. I don't want anything, no matter what anyone does to me. I don't want any of it. I just want to forgive it and move on and not repeat it in the next life, right? So, yeah, I don't know. It's popping into my head, Gemini, so that might be a practice you want to develop. Next, in the area of the past, you have this Wish Upon a Star card and this Roots of Abundance card. Pretty good. You have the Hermit. He has a star in his lantern. I'll show you in a minute. But even though it's coming up in the past, I feel like this could be a past wish that is returning here. And I feel like the Roots of Abundance card is saying that a past idea or something that is like, is it really a wish? Maybe. It's like maybe you wish to have a business or something like that. But it's like, I don't know, that's a wish. And maybe it's more of a dream or something that you want to create, which is what I said at the beginning of the reading. And I feel like this Roots of Abundance card is saying this thing has good legs. So if you are returning to an idea, I think that it's got like a good foundation. It just needs a little bit of, polish, or maybe it just needs a little bit of extra work. So if you are, this is a good retrograde for this, by the way. I think this retrograde in particular is really good for like upgrading old ideas, which retrogrades are always good for that. But this retrograde in particular, it just seems to be a good back to the drawing board type of retrograde, right? It just seems to be really beneficial for that. And that's it. I would absolutely think about that. So if you're returning to any old ideas, or if you're going back to the drawing board, or reinventing anything, like now is the time. You have the Hermit. Again, he has the star in his lantern. I kind of, the Hermit's been on a long journey as well, just like the Ten of Wands. The Hermit has been through a dark night of the soul, and he's done this to soul search, to find his inner light. He has his inner light inside this lantern. And so he has found his inner light. I kind of feel that. Like, it's saying you're ready now, to me. I'm getting a lot of, like, random words for you, Gemini, as well. That would be a very Gemini reading, right? And so, which would be very chatty. My brother called me chatty the other day in the car, and I'm like, I'm just trying to have a conversation, Like, what the hell, right? And so, I don't know. Us Gemini-ruled people, I have a Gemini moon, right? So maybe I am chatty. I don't know. But what I would say here is that, I think that you need to use those words of yours. I don't know where I was going with that, with the Hermit card. But, you've been through this dark night of the soul. You're standing at the top of this mountain. And where I was going with that is, like, you've been through... I think that Roots of Abundance card is saying, like, an old idea has good legs because you're in a better place now. I think this is saying... Oh, that's where I was going with it. I'm getting all these, like, random words popping into my head for you. Like, you're ready now is what just popped into my head. And that's where the chatty thing came in. It's almost like the universe is really just running his freaking mouth right now. And so what I would say here, Gemini, is I feel that again, you're ready now. It's like maybe in the past you weren't ready for that big project, or to start that podcast, or to do whatever your dream is with this Wish Upon a Star card. But it's like now you are, and I feel like that's what the Hermit is saying. That's it. You have this Malady card and this Lover card. This is the Gypsy Oracle, I think is what it's called. I literally am getting lovesick on this. The Malady card can represent sickness. And you have the Lover card, which could be a lover. I feel like some of you are maybe a little bit lovesick, like maybe you want love or you haven't had it in a long time. Again, of course, if you don't want it, then that might not be for you. Although what I would say is that we are in a time of love. So I don't care what type, love isn't just a person. I think that the whole entire world, I think everybody in the world needs to be doing more of what they love, whatever that is. Could be a hobby, could be an idea, something you want to work on, something you're passionate about. It's like the world needs more passion. And so I think that for some of you, it's love. For others, I think it just, if you don't want love, I don't need to hear about it in the comments. I honestly don't care. Because the more you tell me you don't want it, the more I actually think that you do want it, right? So people love to give me their explanations about why they don't want love. I'm like, you basically just told me that you really do want love. Like, if you're going to argue about it this much, then you want it, right? So anyway, rant over. But what I would say here is, I think we all need to do more things that we're passionate about. Also in the area, the very near future, you have this Temperance card. The whole entire reading says you've been very patient. Hermit, Ten of Wands, this right here. So I feel that you have been very patiently working towards your goals. Sometimes I feel the Temperance card says that things will never be perfect. Like, there never will be a perfect moment for you to start your journey. The angel here is trying to turn water into wine. But this right here is the path to glory. And, the card itself says you could easily step off on this path and you could easily complete your journey right now. And so, I kind of feel that. Like, it's saying, like, there's no reason to, stress yourself out and, try to make things perfect, especially if you're building something or working on a project right now. Like, I would just get moving with the Temperance card and, not worry if the environment is right. Next, in the area of your outcome, you have this Say No card. It says assert boundaries, strength, and self-worth. A lot of people this year have been getting these cards that basically say learn the word no. So, I think it could be a good time to do that. You have a Sanctuary card. It says seek refuge, protection, and rejuvenation. There's something about the home with Uranus and Taurus and Gemini. So we have Uranus and Gemini. We also have Jupiter and Cancer, right? And so these are, and you have the new moon in Cancer as your very first card, right? And so the Sanctuary card, Cancer loves the home, right? Loves the energy around them. They love to be comfortable and things like that. And it's popping into my head as being important for you, Gemini, is that, being your second house, there could be, you could be getting a lot of value from your home. And so it's like, but what I mean by that is like, the better of an environment, the cleaner of an environment you create, the better things are going to go in your life. So I do think this card is saying create your own sanctuary, or make sure you have a place of sanctuary in your life. And if you do, I think your life will obviously improve. If not, then it won't. So the choice is yours. I also think there are things that you need to say no to, but it's like you have the Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands says that you're carrying too many burdens. So if you're, the Ten of Wands to me is still a good card because he's about to reach his goal, but sometimes I think some of those wands might belong to other people. So you need to be careful of whose burdens you're picking up. Next in the area, the next few months, you have the Two of Swords. I'm getting the words let it play out. I don't know. Kind of, again, weird messages for you in this reading, Gemini, but I feel like there's something that you need to let play out. It's like, and I think you know what this is. If this part of the reading is for you, it's almost like something where it's like you're just going to have to let it run to see what the result is going to be. And I feel like that's what the Two of Swords is saying. It's almost like, I'll say this. Sometimes I feel with the Two of Swords that we can try to predict an outcome, but, she's thinking this or that, but she has this new island behind her. And the card itself says basically something is going to go completely different than you think. It's going to go that way, over there. This is my card of third place solutions as well, which you are a master of creating third place solutions. I would be really thinking about those third place solutions, Gemini. A third place solution is everybody thinks this or that on every single issue, but there's probably something no one's ever thought of before. And those are third place solutions that could make you very successful. But, again, I think there's something in your life where you just have to let it play out to see what's going to happen. I don't know. Hopefully that makes sense. Next, in the area of your closest relationships, you have the Emperor. Yeah, if you want love, you literally could be attracting an Emperor. It's coming up in your closest relationships. The other thing is, with the Ten of Wands, I would be careful of control with close relationships. There's just like too much stuff going on with control. Neptune in Aries, Saturn in Aries. Yeah, Neptune and Saturn are retrograding or will be retrograding into Pisces this year, but I don't care. I would still say they've already touched tips with Aries. Both planets have already entered in. There's something about control that we need to be careful of. Now, as far as globally is concerned, I don't know. We are this close to being taken control of, so I don't know. I think we have to be careful of control and allowing the AI overlords to take control in the first place. Mark my words. I'm now on a robot kill list because I talk about this. So, basically, I'm gonna have to watch my back for the rest of my life. But what I would say is, again, we don't want to fall into the Skynet control grid, whole BS that they're trying to create, right? So, Uranus and Taurus was all about freedom, and we all had to decide what freedom meant for us, just in general. And, we need to make sure that we assert those boundaries. You have this card. It says, say no. If people in your life are trying to take control of you, say no. If your boss is coming to you and saying, I'm going to install a camera in your cubicle so I can make sure you're working, you can say, no. That's a little bit too creepy for me, dude. No, I'm out, right? So we have to make those types of decisions right now, and that's what I would do, right? Next, in the area of your future feelings, you have the Queen of Swords and the Nine of Pentacles. I mean, honestly, this just says you're feeling like yourself. Queen of Swords could be you. I feel like you're feeling very clear. These are both very good cards of focus. Queen of Swords sees clearly for the first time. The Nine of Pentacles, she has that falcon on her hand, and the falcon in the tarot represents seeing the future clearly for the first time. So again, I think a lot of you could just be seeing clearly for the first time with these cards. I feel like you're feeling more abundant. I also feel that the Queen of Swords, are you making millions of dollars this month? No, probably not. But the Queen of Swords, it's like this would be you seeing how you can greatly increase your abundance. So it's like maybe you don't have the abundance just yet, but I think you're getting a lot of answers and maybe developing a lot of intuitions and third place solutions that could lead to a lot of abundance. And that's what I would be focusing on the most with these two cards for sure. Next, you have the Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups would be your emotions overflowing, being really happy. I think we all need to do more things that bring love, joy, peace, happiness into our lives at this time. So I would definitely do that with Ace of Cups. I do feel that for some of you could be attracting a little bit of love. So if you're hoping for a love connection, definitely could be love coming in for you. It could be a person with a W or an M. There's a W and the M. I never pay attention to that on the Ace of Cups, but it could be either or coming in for you as well. That literally could be their last name as well. But there you go. Let's see. We're gonna clarify this now. That didn't work at all. I tried to spread this deck and it just didn't want to cooperate. So that means it wasn't ready. And let's give it a quick shuffle so that it is. There we go. See, now it's ready and it spreads beautifully. With the Eight of Swords and the Ten of Wands, you have the Queen of Wands. Yeah, fortune favors the bold. Very annoying. Yes, I understand that right now there is no good answer to life right now because fortune favors the bold. Literally, the people that are going to be successful. It's funny. Someone left me a comment the other day. They said, why is it that so many dumb people are being successful right now? I'm like, exactly, right? Because fortune favors the bold. You know what I've realized about dumb people as a fellow dumb person myself? Is that dumb people, they don't know when to give up sometimes. And they also, sometimes they don't know what they don't know. So they just do stuff. And that's why they become successful, right? So it's kind of like a weird little, energetic paradox right now, where it's like smart people might actually be struggling to be successful right now because it's like, it's almost like we just have to do things and not worry about it. But if you're smart, then you're going to be like, oh, that won't work, right? You get where I'm going with this? So I don't know. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be smart, but I am saying, be bold, be assertive, make things happen. With the Seven of Wands, you have the Two of Wands. Yes, you're really going to have to take the lead on things that you want to be successful. I feel like this is saying that you're ready for a change. He's standing at the top of this castle, and he has a whole world in his hands. So in a lot of ways, the Two of Wands can just say that you're ready for some sort of change in your life. And I feel like that's what you need to realize, is that you're, you're ready to make some sort of change. And that's kind of what I'm feeling there on that card. With the Three of Swords, you have the Three of Wands. Yes, it's time for you to expand past heartbreaks and past hurts and things like that. Like I said, I really don't feel bad about that Three of Swords. We've all had heartbreaks in life, of course. We've all had challenges, and I think the Three of Swords is saying it's a great month, really, especially with the North Node still in Pisces with the Mercury retrograde. It's a great month or a great time to heal those past hurts, let those things go. Let go of the parts of your story that you don't want to live any longer. All that stuff, right, would be really good right now. So I feel like the Three of Wands is saying it's time to try something new. It's time to try something different. And, that's basically what I would be doing with that card. With the Hermit, you have the Page of Cups. Some of you, I literally feel like didn't I say this to you in your last reading? I'm pretty sure. I feel like you're attracting someone who's finally ready. It's like maybe you've been attracted to a person. I think this part of the message is only for some of you. Like, if you've had your eye on a person or whatever, I feel like you're both ready, honestly. It's like maybe both people haven't been ready for a long time. And it's almost like now you are attracting a person who is ready and you're ready. I don't know how else to say it, Gemini. But I think, again, I feel intuitively that it's almost like these are two people who haven't been ready for each other. But it's like now you are, And that's really what I feel there. There you go. With the Temperance card, you have the Six of Swords. Yeah, pretty good to see, because sometimes I believe people can get stuck in Temperance mode, just trying to make things perfect instead of just going across the choppy waters and saying, I'll figure it out as I go along, right? Queen of Wands. The best thing we can do with the Queen of Wands is to learn as we go, right? And Six of Swords is kind of similar. These people, they might not really be ready for the journey, but they're like, you know what? Well, let's just move forward through these choppy waters, because I know that there's something better on the other side. With the Two of Swords, you have the Knight of Cups. Yes, Knight in Shining Armor coming in for you for sure. This person could be very different. I say this to you in every single one of your readings. There is something about it, Gemini. I don't know. There's something about you, like, really attracting a very different type of person. So, if you want love, it's definitely could be a Knight in Shining Armor, but they could be different than what you're used to. With the Emperor, you have the King of Swords. King of Swords definitely could be someone, like an age difference. Could be a person who's older than you. Could be a person who has a lot of knowledge and wisdom. Kind of funny, because almost everybody in these monthly readings has had a card like this, like the King of Swords. And so this would be a card of the Mentor, which we also have a Mentor right here. The guy in the back of the boat on the Six of Swords is meant to represent a guide. And so a lot of you, if you're like making new friends or meeting new people, there could be people this month that really help guide you on your journey. So very good. With what was this again? The Queen of Swords and the Nine of Pentacles, you have you showing up here. I literally said, this is you, right? On that Queen of Swords. And you have the Lovers, which is hilarious. And you have the Nine of Pentacles. But what I would say is this could also just say that you are going from being single, like Nine of Pentacles, being independent, to being in a relationship. So there definitely could be a connection coming in for you. I have a feeling that you are probably attracting a very independent person as well. To me, as far as I'm concerned, two independent people can work really well together for sure. And so, again, I think that there's nothing wrong with this. Two people who kind of like do their own thing, and then you come together when you want to be together, right? It's like not that big of a deal. So I feel you could also be attracting a very independent person. With the Ace of Cups, told you have the Hermit. Like I said right here, I knew this was talking about love here. That Hermit, there's something about like the energy has changed. This could be with a person. It's like a person could finally be ready, like I already said. Or it's like they're finally maybe open to love, or whatever you want to call it, right? So I feel pretty good about this here, Gemini, especially for those of you looking for love. You have this Casket card. It says, someone going out of your life or the end of a situation. I think you're bearing a bunch of hatchets with the Three of Swords. That is what I feel like this is saying. That Three of Swords, it's kind of funny because I don't feel typical Three of Swords on it, but it does feel very powerful in your reading. Like, to me, it says, I think this retrograde is a good one for bearing the hatchet, like forgiving past people and moving on and stuff like that. I feel like you're doing, like, a bunch. I think you're not doing one hatchet. I think you're maybe kind of like letting go of a lot of old stories. But this is going to be very healing and very good for you, so I would do it. You have this Rat card. It says, someone working against you behind your back. Yes, Mercury is retrograde almost exactly where Leo was retrograde. So, Mars was retrograde in Leo at the end of last year into this year. Mars was retrograde, and Mercury's retrograde there now. Next year, we're gonna have Jupiter go retrograde almost in exactly the same freaking place, practically. Can't make this stuff up, right? It's like the universe is testing us, right? Although I don't think this is that big of a deal. Jupiter will be positive. Jupiter retrograde is always positive, but with Mercury retrograde there, I would ignore. The best thing we can do during Mars retrograde is ignore it. And since Mercury is basically repeating the energy, kind of, in a way, according to Chris's crappy astrology here, I would just avoid negative people. I just wouldn't even give them energy. You have this Tower card. It says solid foundation, success with effort. Yeah, pretty good. So you are clearly building something. I think we said this the whole reading, and definitely could be a lot of success. You have this Man card. It says dealings or relationships with a man. You have this Key card. It says successful outcome to your problems. Again, there could be like a mentor. It doesn't have to be love, this man. The man could be a mentor, a person you learn from. Could be your dad. Could be your grandpa. I don't care. It could just be a person who kind of has the key to your success. So that looks good. You have this November card and this Broken Ring card. It says parting of the ways, either in romance or business. Kind of funny because I think it was November of last year that Mars went retrograde in Leo. So again, some of you could be revisiting something from that time, which makes sense with Mercury going retrograde basically in the same spot. So, you could be, I don't even think this has to be a parting of the ways. I think this could just be something you dealt with last year that's kind of popping up again, but it's almost like you're closing out the cycle. So not a bad thing. But this looks pretty good here, Gemini. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your month.